Welcome back to Chronic. Jamie's going to talk about the fact that we're on a planet.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 1 of Chronic. We are
crying.
on a planet. We're chronically on a planet.
We're chronically on this motherfucking planet.
But just the one. You can't go to another planet.
I know. And I like Jamie's theory about why we can't go to other planets.
Okay, Meg is free to cut this out of the episode. I am going to start by talking about today's Jamie thought.
Yes.
8 a.m. driving home from the grocery store.
Adult.
Where I bought vegetables only.
God, the flex.
God, I'm such an adult. And I'm so healthy. Everyone has now turned off this podcast. And I'm driving home and I'm at a red light and I'm looking at the sky because like the clouds were, here's the thing. We live in Southern California for anyone who doesn't know that. And
Flex.
Okay, but I'm saying that to say that on a regular everyday, it's a cloudless blue sky.
Yes.
For the most part.
Yeah.
Clouds are just not
a
a norm.
smog cloudless day.
But I'm saying like we don't really, cloudy days are just, I would say few and far between. It's really just like a sunny day.
We're just going to keep bragging about this.
Sunny days. Anyway, but today, the clouds in the sky were just really incredible looking, and they were the stripy kinds.
Stratus.
Thank you. They were stratus clouds. Sure.
I hope so, because otherwise my dad, who loves clouds, is going to totally fact check me on that.
Well, so they were the stripy kind, but the stripy kind that reminded me of what Jupiter looks like. And so, and I'm looking at the Jupiter. This is the train of thought. I was like, wow, those clouds are really cool. Look at those clouds. They're so stripy, like Jupiter, a planet. Whoa. We're like on a planet
right now.
But I was just like, it's so crazy that we are within our solar system of planets. But
Yes.
this is the only planet where like
All 8 planets.
everyone's just fucking home in bed watching TikTok. You know what I mean? Like that's what's going on right now. It's so weird. But going back to what Meg said about my theory, which is that, well, you said that they discovered there's lights on another planet, right?
Yeah, but now I'm thinking that might be
Fake news.
have been clickbait,
Fake news.
fake news.
Oh, well, either way.
I like to imagine there are city lights on another planet.
Well, let's just say that the they of NASA, I assume, right?
Yeah, I believe they are they them now.
Well, I didn't know who you were talking about.
NASA they them.
NASA's gender neutral. Kind of.
I mean, planets are.
That's so true.
Yeah, so if A equals B,
So they.
equals they.
So they thought that in the distance they saw lights. I'm gonna keep going. They saw lights in a distant galaxy, I guess.
Yeah, that's where they are.
But I couldn't
Life
tell
exists
from your
in
story.
galaxies.
No, I know, but I guess were
gonna
the
really need
lights
a
like maybe on
fact-checking
what they
producer.
thought was a planet, or the lights were just like in the distance?
Oh, I
in
think on a
smattering of-
planet.
Okay, so
I think lights in the distance are stars.
okay, but my theory. God, I'm so sorry. I can't. Nothing is succinct with me. But my theory is that so they saw these lights in the distance, right? We can't be the only planet that has life. It just doesn't make any sense that like we're the one.
We can't be the only being suffering in this expanding black expanse.
It doesn't make any sense. However, I don't think it's a coincidence that like whether they like those things exist, maybe we've figured out technology to see them.
We can't.
But you'll never reach it.
We can't get there.
Or no. Theoretically, let's just say someone took a ship and went off to go see it.
Yes.
It's possible that they would live long enough on that trip to get there, but they would never be able to, they wouldn't survive the return.
Correct.
They would be too old.
Yes.
I don't think that's a
Muerto.
coincidence. I just think we're not meant to like see, like, listen, that planet could be another literally us.
Earth.
It could be a carbon copy of exactly what's happening like
Right
the
now.
Metaverse. No. What is it?
Yes,
Yeah,
the
multiverse. The
multiverse.
We will mention the multiverse. But yeah, it could be a multiverse, right? So you're not supposed to come in contact with you.
Oh, hashtag dark matter. That book, y'all. And the show,
So
shameless
excited.
plug, May 8th. I have no affiliation. I have no affiliation, but we got to
Shameless
share the
excited
magic.
plug. You're welcome, Apple.
Dark matter. Is it Apple?
Yeah.
Sponsor us.
Well, guys, welcome to Chronic.
Yes, welcome, friends.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm Meg.
I'm Jamie.
Still Meg.
Still Jamie.
Short for Margaret.
Welcome to episode 1. That's fine.
That was great.
It's fine. I'm a harsh judge.
Jamie is the harshest judge.
But yeah, so thanks again for tuning in. So you've already hopefully listened to our intro episode. Now you're here for the real thing.
And if you haven't, then you missed the whole syllabus and you have no context. Oh, did we tease them with a little squirrel-y mano-y squirrelo?
So if you listened to our intro episode, you were left with a few things. A man story, downtown LA, and a flying squirrel costume.
And the fact that we both haven't been touched in a long time. This podcast was supposed to be about physical health and wellness.
And it still will be, because we're still going to make you wait till a little bit later in this episode.
But these are the most pressing of matters.
We're not giving it to you just yet. You are going to get that story.
Because no one's giving it to us just yet.
Ew. You are going to get that story a little bit later in this episode.
So why are we here?
Meg, you're going to give us a little bit of background, right?
I'm sick. Boo, you whore.
Boo. I mean, in this episode.
I'm
Just
not.
kidding. I know you're not.
I'm not a whore. I'm not a whore. And I have no interest in being a whore, but also I don't care if you are. I need an intellectual connection to be aroused. And that's what this podcast is about.
I mean, what is that called?
Sapiosexual.
Yeah.
But anyway, so what ails me? Where do we begin? About 2 years ago, it felt kind of like overnight, but of course with chronic illness, you do start to notice that there are lots of warning signs and things that happen, but it felt like one day I woke up and the light switch had been turned off. I couldn't stand, I couldn't walk, I couldn't breathe. I had excruciating chest pain. It wasn't COVID. I went to the ER. Nothing is wrong with you. And it was really, really overwhelming. And at the time I was with an ex, and things were also not great in that realm, and days turned into weeks. And pretty much at that point, I'd been to the ER a couple times, medical bills starting to stack up, and there were no answers. And then I started reaching out to NatPass, and they're like, maybe you have mold, maybe you have this and that. And also simultaneously, my relationship is disintegrating. So anyone that's another alternative practitioner is like, oh, it's the energy, and once you leave the energy, you're going to be healed, and blah, blah, blah. I'm sure there's factors of that. I do subscribe to the emotional body connection, the
100%.
Psychosomatic.
Also, there's a lot of invisible things, right?
So
like
invisible.
You're in all this pain, but it's invisible,
Yes.
and they can't do a test to prove it.
Yes.
But then mold is, you can see mold, but it could be.
It's just like really tiny.
But it's like that could be in the air, invisible, and then energy, invisible. So it's like all this crap that you're like, well, I can't see it, so maybe
I'm just losing my mind.
I can't even imagine. Your mind was probably just like,
Yes, it's really intense, and you want back to your life so fast that you are just like death gripping. You are just death gripping.
Not our equipment.
Literally, I was like, I just broke them. You're death gripping, and you're just desperate. You're like, give me anything. I want answers now. I'm trying to get back to my life. Mm-hmm. And that's just not how it works. Anyone that is dealing with anything chronic, that is not how it works, because, hey, it's here for you to make some deep, deep changes.
Whether you want them or not.
Changes. So ultimately, I decided to leave my partner at the time and move home with my parents. Went and did every treatment we could think of, and still we don't know what's going on. So now that it's been almost 2 years, this is much more in the zeitgeist now, that people that have my condition, they're popping up everywhere. And part of this, again, this podcast is also a research forum, a data mining forum, because if you have people in your life, or you yourself have this and you know what's going on, please, God, give me information.
Are you able or comfortable sharing maybe any of the specifics of the things
Yes.
that you feel, and maybe any of the stuff that you feel you found a way to categorize?
Yes. So
or diagnose? I don't know the right word.
the controversial and potential diagnosis is that I potentially had a vaccine injury. I have a history of illness. I had Bell's palsy in college. I have had gut infections. And I also had a really severe eating disorder for a number of years. And so I've had a lot of things. So I wasn't supposed to get the vaccine. Didn't know that. This is not a pro or con. This is just my experience. If the data helps.
You were like, I want to go get it.
Yeah, let's go.
At the time, yeah.
So yes, it was hard to know if it was that, or it's just this like long COVID that people are starting to really deal with. And I'm hearing about it more and more. Mm-hmm. And I am starting to connect with some people that are going through it, but essentially it manifests as this thing called PEM, post-exertional malaise, and chronic fatigue syndrome, and POTS. And so what's really difficult, I was a professional dancer. I've been a serious athlete. So physical. And a big part of this illness has been literally bedridden for sometimes weeks at a time. So much physical chest pain that it's so bad that it starts to radiate. When you like get that, I think I'm going to throw up thing in your, that like when you start to salivate.
Yeah. Oh my God.
When you're in so much pain. And like
Jamie, your body is just trying to get it out.
Yeah. It's like, where can this pain go? It's like shooting on my eyeballs. So that and sorry for the laundry list, folks. We're getting it out of the way so we can move the fuck on. Because I've learned with this process too that rehashing what you're going through isn't always helpful. Like you get burnt out and it's no longer useful to like
100%. But we just wanted to let everyone know maybe like specifically what you're going through.
Yeah.
It's not to be vague the whole time, you know?
Correct. And also, again, like information welcome.
Yeah. If you heard what Meg has been chronically ailed with and you yourself maybe have the same thing, let us know. Share your story. If there are things that you've done, I mean, we're going to get into it as the episodes go on, the things that you've tried, which again, everything. But if there's ever anything you heard we haven't mentioned or have and you've had a good or bad experience, send it in.
Yeah, please
share the wealth.
Yes. And so the post-exertional malaise means that like Jamie goes to F45. She does a fun workout. Her body knows how to recover, and it does quickly. And she's able to go to F45 the next day.
Although hashtag creatine. I mean, God.
She is shouting out creatine. Win. I do not take creatine. Maybe I should. Maybe that was the whole problem all along. Lack of creatine.
Oh my God. If I could have another creatine convert under my belt. Oh my God.
Gosh, you guys, this is just...
I love creatine. The science is there, okay?
And that's another thing that, as Jamie says, you should take creatine, which is funny because it is another thing. And people that have been dealing with illness get this, but you get treatment fatigue. It's because 100%. When it goes on and on and on, it's like, try this pill, try that pill, try this doctor. And when you stay sick, it becomes so discouraging because you're like, I put my hopes and dreams in this thing and it didn't work out. And then you start to become cautious, like life, when dating, whatever it is, you lose your naivete. I don't know if I said that right. Naivete. I think I put extra T's. And you burn out, and to rouse yourself, to have the positivity and the enthusiasm to, because our brain, our mindset is so important. Yeah. You know, they say how when you take like a psychedelic that you want to be in a really positive, intentional space. Same thing with your healing journey, because if you're going, this isn't going to work, then it's not going to be as effective. Right. They know that with placebo. So anyway, it's the burnout, the treatment fatigue. 100%. We'll get into caretaker fatigue. That's a really big part of people that are taking care of you or trying to help them, getting fatigued with the whole process. And that can be painful too. But yeah, so essentially post-exertional malaise, my body doesn't know how to recover. And it can be so confusing about what sets it off. It can be like, we went and saw Dune. I had to have earplugs in and I had sunglasses on, and by the end I was so overstimulated that I got sick. To be fair, on the Dune front, because we saw that together, we were like, what happened? We were both, well, God, I mean, please write in if you have any idea what went on in Dune 2. We're still really we're unclear. We know what happened. It just, the editor was like, you know what's going on. Next scene. And then we were both like, well, I will resolve that in my own heart. Jarring and not a cute way. But cinematically gorgeous. Oh my God. Oh, to the ears and the eyes was fantastic. But what I do want to say is that we were both just like, la 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 la, going to see Dune. And then we sit down, and I think it was someone behind or next to us who was like, yeah, it's like 3 hours long. And we're both like, what? Oh God. Oh God. It was long. It was long. No, I wasn't bored because like I fell asleep. I nodded off a few times. Beautiful landscapes, beautiful people. Oh gosh. That was just self-preservation. I know, but I saw it with my mom. That was your vasovagal. Yeah, but I saw that with my mom and also other many elder, no offense, mom, elder. She knows who she is. No, other much elder than her people in New York. And I was like, for sure. I was like, because I wasn't looking at her the whole time. I was like, for sure. She also was like, oh God, this movie was so long. And I nod off multiple times. That never happens to me in movies. And we finished the movie and she's like, I was riveted the whole time. Edge of seat. I was like, you're like slouching in seat. Totally, mom. Anyway, no, but like
we didn't know that Dune was going to be so long, which
So
we should have.
intense.
We're so dumb.
But
But
we researched everything. We went into that tra-la-la.
wow, that does
Sneaking in our snacks and just got.
Oh my God, I made my own nachos, guys.
She brought nachos.
Vegan, gluten-free nachos for me.
It's because she was trying to one up the fact that I brought in a pizza.
She brought a fucking pizza.
I did.
Guys, just bring your own snacks. Bring whatever you
BYO
want.
pizza.
Bring whatever you want. They
AMC
don't care.
doesn't know.
Shout
Shout out to AMC, sponsor us.
Please. Oh my
I'm
God,
still gonna bring my own pizza, though.
Mine in those DMs, hers, not mine. But that's all to say that like
It's hard to know what's gonna set off my condition.
because who would have thought?
Who would have thought? And it's paralyzing.
Sandworms are just like
That sandworm was.
Who would have thought?
That your entire system would be completely hijacked by.
What?
Sorry if I just blew out your sound system.
Soda car chant for the win. I still have the 10-hour version.
Oh
on my
God, we've
laptop.
got to share some of those comments. Oh, the comments in the 10-hour chant loop.
Just shout out if you really enjoy the Soda car chant and you're one of those people who have found the 10-hour version, because
10 hours is not enough.
it's not enough. It's not enough. So good.
Oh, okay.
So off
You're
track.
going to learn about us that we take the windy road to Oz,
We'll
but
come
we
back.
get there.
We get there and we
And
come
it's always
back.
dandy.
Yeah.
But so, yes, that has been emotionally, mentally, the most traumatic part of this experience is I want to use my life. I want to be working. I want to be in the world, but I don't know what's going to be too much. And it's been better because, y'all, if you don't know about spoons, you know about pacing. Spoons is not just for the chronically ill.
No.
Really quick, spoons. Actually, because Jamie's the one that introduced me to it. Do you want to tell me about spoons?
Okay. I love spoons.
Changed my life.
Both the actual utensil and also the
Oh yeah, I love a good spoon.
theoretical spoon.
It's a great vehicle to get food to my mouth.
So true.
However,
So I also just would like to say that while Meg is the one with chronic pain, I do have like the tiniest experience with chronic pain myself, which is why I've become gluten-free and all these things. But I am nowhere in the ballpark of where Meg has been and what she's experienced. Nowhere near it.
that's okay. We're not comparing. Everyone has their own shit.
But from that small experience, I have found my way to the spoon theory, which for those of you listening, if you're already a spoonie, I know it's your thing and you already know it. But so the spoon theory was created by and for people in the chronic pain and chronic illness community. Mm-hmm. And essentially it means that every single day that we all wake up, you yourself have a certain amount of spoons for the day.
Limited spoons.
And every single spoon is for every single thing you will do for the day. And that goes from the large to the small. You brush your teeth, a spoon. You make breakfast, a spoon. You go hang out with your friend for the day, a spoon. So every single thing is a spoon. And the whole idea is that it's to help you regulate and really think, how do I want to say that?
Yeah.
You just want to think carefully about how you are
Using your spoons.
Because if you're reaching back in that drawer for extra spoons,
Those dusty little Chinese takeout leftover plastic spoons.
and when I say that, I mean
those aren't going to get you to the club.
And when I say that, like that really goes to mean like, let's say it is 6 p.m. and I have had a whole day. I've done all my things. I did work, whatever. I have maybe 3 spoons left, right? So theoretically, those spoons could be used for dinner, watching a show, and getting ready for bed. That's not really what it is, but you know, I'm just
cleaning
using
up the house a little
I'm using
bit.
that as an example. Meg calls me. By the way, this is such a hypothetical. This would never in a million years happen. 6 p.m. Meg calls me. Hey, I got tickets to a midnight
I love the
showing."
shade that she's throwing right now. Like, Meg would never call me with something fun to do ever.
For a midnight thing.
Oh, absolutely not.
Where's
Are
the
you
lie?
insane?
This is what I'm saying. Meg calls and says, hey, there's this midnight show of a band that we both love, and we're going to go to a bar before and get drinks beforehand, and then we're going to go to the show.
God,
and
who is that person?
No, I know, but like you are probably saying, like, you know, the person who doesn't know how to use their spoons well is going to say,
Oh, I feel like I should.
I'm so tired. Not even just I should. Like, I do want to do that. I know I'm so tired and I will regret it tomorrow. Well, I'm going to go do it anyway.
Yeah.
And then you're dragging yourself. You know what I mean? Like, you're dragging yourself, and maybe you do have some fun, but
then maybe you pay for it
have
for
a
a few
terrible
days.
night's sleep. You're going to wake up so exhausted the next day, and you're not going to be able to do all your things. This is just a long-winded way of saying, so spoon theory is meant for you to really think long and hard about all the things you do in a day and just how you want to
Regulate.
spend your time.
Yeah, and I
your
think
energy.
I've
It's
learned
saving your energy.
Yeah, and I've learned that my spoons vary based on my condition that day. So Yeah, some early in my illness, sometimes a spoon was literally walking to the kitchen, and I had to consider, can I even unload the dishwasher? And I literally sometimes
Exactly.
would have to go back into my bed, and I couldn't.
And that's okay.
And that's okay. But other days when she is feeling peppy and ready to go, the spoons look different. Like I'm able to get to a fitness class or whatever it is. Ultimately, I have experienced that spoons are about cultivating wisdom and autonomy and really trusting yourself. I've struggled with that as a young woman, just growing up. And to this day, I have struggled with my boundaries of I don't want to do that, or I physically shouldn't do that and can't do that, but I'm going to push myself to. I was a professional dancer, y'all. Talk about pushing past your limits, working in the film industry, pushing past your limits, being required to push past your limits, expected. And if not, someone's coming for your spot. And so the benefit of, I think, pandemic, but also this illness has been a complete reevaluation of my worth in relationship to productivity, what it means to actually be productive and to create value as you are where you are. And spoons has been so helpful because it, for me, has given me a way to articulate to myself and to others, this is my boundary right now.
Yeah.
And it takes practice. I'm still
100%
figuring out my spoons.
This is not to say that like, oh, it's so easy. Just figure out all the things you need to do. And it takes time to be like, oh, let me stop for a second and think and reevaluate. Like, do I want to go do this thing? Do I have it in me? And also I will say spoon theory, I think, taught us and our friends, because I've shared this with anyone and everyone who will listen to me.
You get a spoon. You get a spoon.
But seriously, no,
they don't all get spoons.
Not everyone gets spoons. But on that note, it really teaches you to learn how to communicate that with your friends, right? Because sometimes maybe in social situations and social pressures, you're nervous, even though they're your friends, you're nervous to tell people, no, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Because no is a complete sentence.
Oh, Jane Fonda, honey. Thank you for that one.
But I'm saying spoon theory, like in our friend group, especially, like we have all gotten to a place where we are able to say,
oh God,
no, I can't go. I don't have it in me.
Yeah.
You don't ever need an excuse.
No.
You're welcome to tell people an excuse, but I've said this to so many people, honesty is the best policy, but you really don't need an excuse. And especially when it comes to spoon theory, just saying, you know what? I don't have the energy for that today, tonight, whenever, never. I don't have the energy for it. Literally last night, us and another friend, we had been out for hours. I mean, hours.
Which was huge for me.
Which is huge for you, especially. Yes. And we were gonna keep going. We were like, there wasn't, everyone knows.
I was in my squirrel outfit. I was getting wanded to get into barcade.
Ooh, more breadcrumbs of the story.
breadcrumbs.
No, but I feel like everyone can relate to this feeling of like you are on such a high because you're out, you're talking with people, you're moving around the bar. You're like, yeah. It was literally well, today's Sunday, but it was a Sunday fun day. It was Saturday. No, but we were out for daytime, and you're feeling the vibes, you're feeling the energy, and then people we were with moving on to the next bar, and we're like, yeah, we're totally gonna go to the next bar. Let's go.
Choo-choo.
We go to the next bar, and then we're like, oh, we're feeling hungry. Yeah, let's go get dinner. All these things just like sound so exciting because you're out, you want to do it. And we literally stood there for not even
under
5
a heat
minutes.
Lamp.
It was under a heat lamp. Listen, LA at night gets chilly.
My fins get cold.
And the three of us were like, yeah, let's go get dinner. Where do you want to go eat? And it just took literally 30 seconds of me trying to find somewhere to eat. And us being like, well, what do we want to do? Where do you want to go?
And for me to go, you know what?
Well, me too.
I've had a great night, and I'd like to go home.
Well, I was like, guys, my energy levels were here, and they have now immediately depleted. Let's just skip it.
We're done.
But it's spoons give you the power, I think, to just be like, I'm tired. I've done enough of these things. Whatever spoons I do have left, it's like you already know what you want to do for the rest of the night.
And I think this actually,
whatever.
And I think this is actually a great seed planted for another episode about friendships and chronic patterns we have with friendships and being able to, again, ask for what we need. That has been the most awesome experience with illness, has been learning how to articulate my needs. I think a lot of people that have experienced grief, Jamie had a grief experience that will also be another episode, but you learn how exhausting it is to be in grief or any other kind of pain or whatever you're going through. And being able to articulate what you need to people is so amazing. Yes. Oh my gosh, this has been like the best benefit of this experience.
Yeah.
And then also, this will be in a friendship episode, but it's the nuance of also how we do it, that we're not bailing on people.
No.
That, it's for us to really take responsibility and to do our, spoons isn't about like, this is where I'm at, fuck you. And we need to also still have respect for people's time.
100%. But
yes.
I think spoons also give people, it's like, I guess maybe I'm taking that even for granted because we know about it and we've told our friends. And so
we're just like really good at communicating. # over communicating.
Obviously. Ugh. No, but our group, I feel like really does know and understand the spoons.
Because we created the culture and the language. So if you are a friend group listening, I love the idea of a friend group sitting around their table right now, just listening all together.
Wow.
Like, wow, guys, let's do it.
Okay, but like that's, how many times have I played you a podcast? You and Julie.
Yes, you have. We've sat around listening. Yes, but I think creating shared language and asking
100%.
for what we need.
But it really, I think spoons does give people the power to, it's the power to say, no, I can't do this. And if you give your friends that language, they'll just immediately be like, I got it.
That's it.
Totally hear you.
So you heard it here first and hopefully not last. Spoons.
But so going back to you and your pain and just realizing like what I have spoons for and what I don't.
Yes.
But you.
Yes. But you.
Well, I said I, but it's what you were saying.
About me again.
It's about me. This is my podcast.
That's okay.
No, it's not.
Jamie can drive this train.
No.
Jamie hates being in charge. And then she gets on the mic and she doesn't shut the fuck up. No, I'm just kidding. I could listen to Jamie talk all day.
She does.
And I do.
You already do.
So we're like, recorded already.
I can't believe we are such good friends and you are enjoying this because I'm like, wow. Texting, calling.
That was so sexual. We've been together so long. I can't believe you're still enjoying this.
But okay, so you are sort of in this, if it's okay with you, I want to call it like a mystery place, right? Where like,
ooh, a mystery.
But you still don't, you have answers, but you don't have answers. And it's just kind of this continued experience that you've had of not having enough spoons for things. And just for, I guess, the purpose of this episode in particular, relating that back to, so you were with your ex, then you left your ex, and then now you've been in the world single as someone who has all of this going on.
Yeah, but hey, everyone, no one wants to fuck a sick girl.
I don't think that's necessarily true.
Kinks.
Well, it was a movie, but remember that movie?
They made a movie about people that were into doing it with girls that are not well?
Not
yuck.
Explained.
I feel
exactly
exploited
that way. I forget what it's called, but that movie with Anne
wasn't
Hathaway.
the Rotten Tomatoes breakdown.
No, with actually there are. Now that I'm thinking about it, I can name multiple movies of people who were sick and they got it on. Okay, what was that movie?
There is a syndrome of being a caretaker and like it fulfills you sexually.
Okay, no, there was Anne Hathaway.
Oh, you know what? I'm not going to yuck your yums.
Shut up. No, Anne Hathaway and Jake Gyllenhaal. She was really in like physical chronic pain, and it takes place
as
in
a
like
character or in her life.
No, the character. And then Jake Gyllenhaal worked for Big Pharma, like he sold pills, and then they ended up like
so he
fucking,
stuffed her full of pills and then full of himself.
But she had so many days where she was just like in so much pain, and so there was that movie.
And he fucked the pain away.
Well, he tried to. There were a lot of days where she couldn't do it, and she was miserable.
Fuck the pain away. That's been the joke, friends. So when I got back to LA, there was maybe the second or third month back. I'm still sick as a dog, and I have this idea that, well, my roommate, she's great at dating. Oh my gosh, this girl,
Julie, is a dating professional.
Julie, you are,
Julie,
praise. We bow down because she's so good at, Clifton's strengths, adaptability is one of her tops. She can just send it. She can get on the app, say, hey, let's go get a coffee, move on. I do not have that. If I don't have a successful outing, I feel like I have been robbed of my time. Also, spoons. So
fuck those apps.
We can't do it. We're people in the world.
We are on the journey of in real life dating and in real life meeting, organic meetings, which again, breadcrumbs we'll get to.
Oh, breadcrumbs. But also, I have not been actively dating because I have had no interest because pain does not make you horny. Well, you know what? Pain does not make me horny. I have to be careful because some people might be really sick and really horny, and God, I'm so sorry. Maybe you're figuring it out for yourself. All that to say, I was about 3 months into being back in LA last year, still sick. And I'm like, I need to get laid. Like maybe I just need to feel good in my body. That's what it came from, was I have felt like a prisoner in this body. This body doesn't feel good. how do I feel pleasure? And then I kind of went on a journey of, well, I can feel pleasure in different ways. I love smelling my jasmine tea. I love feeling the sun on my face. You know, I love getting a massage. But
What a sweet summer child.
I am so simple and special and delicate. Guys, I didn't know what a blowjob was till I was 16. It was not a fun discovery.
That's still quite
I
young,
was
though, is it
haunted.
not?
I'm still haunted.
That's like still quite young.
It is, but not.
I don't know that I knew at 16.
But
I'm trying to think.
But to be at a sleepover after your toga party in high school and all the girls are like, blowjobs, and you're like,
Okay, but I don't think I gave one until I was 19.
that's appropriate.
Yeah, but
That's legal.
it is. But I think
It is.
no. But so many girls I knew or had heard. That's awful. I feel bad. But like, you know, we're doing it well early on in high school. You know what I mean? And
again, not to
that's
not
not
to
a yuck
shame.
yum. No, not to shame
Not to
whatsoever.
shame.
But I'm just saying, you feeling insecure about being like, I didn't know what it was until I was 16. Like, I barely
Sweet summer
learned
child.
at 16, and
Yes.
I had maybe one boyfriend, I think, in high school, and I just was, and we broke up before we got to that. That what is it? That
Base.
It's so true.
What sport were we playing?
Actually, I really quickly
Sex
just want to say that, like, I won't say his name on the pod, but I have it in my head, and I remember like just learning about things like that while we were. I mean, like, he was my first, like, I don't want to say his parents are gonna listen to this.
Don't say it.
But
He
you know,
knows
like,
who- he knows
bases,
who
right?
he
No, like,
is.
but like figuring out the bases like together, essentially, right? So that was my
Did he
first
run you
foray.
right through second?
Yeah.
Oh, he's like, yeah.
No,
I feel like
but
I got
like-
walked to first.
But I remember. No, he was very sweet.
slow burn.
His friends sucked. You know who you are, and so.
We'll find you.
No, but I remember. I literally can remember being in his bed, in his family home, and we.
Hot.
But like, we had just finished doing whatever, and I knew he was trying to say, like, talk to me about moving more forward.
He's like, I'd like to play more baseball with you.
Yes, but
We've just been
But I
bunting.
was like too nervous to like I was in a that place where I would.
You were a child and you weren't ready to have someone touch your body.
I was
oh no,
like,
she was raging
no. Okay, ma'am, Jesus Christ, words in my mouth. My God.
until you had a dick in your mouth.
No, what I'm trying to say is, like, I was in that in between place of like, if like I was ready to like have the conversation and like maybe move, like dip my toes into it, but I wasn't ready to be the one to be like, yeah, let's go. And
Right.
so he was trying very sweetly and delicately to talk about it, but he was having trouble with the words, and I was being such an asshole. I was just like, what do you mean?
Brand.
What are you talking about?
Oh god, that tracks.
What can you explain it? Like, I was being such a little dick about it. No, things have changed. Now I'm just like,
I appreciate that you had that autonomy and that sense of self then, because girlfriend did not. Girlfriend being me.
I was making him work really hard for it. And
As
then-
you should
so-
have. I would just like to, because we teased the listeners with my story. Friends, I went to, I transferred.
No. Wait, stop. Yes. We can get into it. We don't have to jump.
No, I want to tell the little story because we avoided it.
Which story?
I was telling about my blowjob story.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That's not what
Jamie, let me have the
I'm
mic.
so
Me.
sorry. I thought you were going to jump in
She
right
wants to talk about all her blowjobs.
No, I don't.
Ugh.
No, I thought you were going to
As
jump
I'm
into
just holding this microphone, so I can just, I'm suddenly seeing the microphone in my periphery. Oh, Jamie, no.
Don't watch the YouTube.
No,
No, I was going to say, I was...
Trigger warning, mom and dad. No, I was going to say... it's such a it's a lovely story, which is sad and lovely. I transferred to the public high school sophomore year to be at the art school because I wanted to be an artist. And I went to toga party, which was our first dance. And I remember girls sneaking alcohol in little travel shampoo bottles in their cleave. I didn't have boobs yet. And I was like,
What year was this?
sophomore year.
Of
Oh,
high school?
Of the thousands? You want to know which thousands of year?
I was confused if it was college or high school.
Oh, I was like sophomore of elementary. Yes, sophomore of high school.
How dare you?
We go back to my friend's house, and she lives downtown with just her mom. And I was like, oh, this is such a like
Ooh,
Gilmore
city
girl.
life.
Yeah, like, ooh, she's like very cool with just her mom and their gal pals. And we're sitting around gabbing, and they're talking about putting boys' penises in their mouths, and I am horrified. Horrified.
You put that
where? This dirty thing that
Why?
pee comes out of. I was in my sleeping bag.
You know, you don't have to say the
clutching
thing that we
myself,
know, but we just pretend to ignore.
clutching my pearls. I was traumatized. And I remember thinking, because I had been so brutally teased at my last school and in like from other dancers that were older than me. People suck. I had just been teased a lot. I went to a farm school, friends, until like 3rd grade. And then I went to public school. I was the frizzy haired, pattern fleece wearing chick who had chopped vegetables in recycled yogurt containers. I was that girl.
And what has changed about?
Yeah, I heard all of it. I just heard all of it.
You're talking about pattern.
But now it's in. They sell Birkenstocks at Nordstrom.
I know, but you're like pattern fleeces and chopped vegetables.
Yeah,
like,
pattern fleaces were not hot in 2000.
It's rude.
In 19 whatever.
It's rude.
In the 1900s, not hot.
No.
Now, everyone wants it. So anyway, I'm horrified. I think I'm being teased. It's a very like, you making fun of me, Riz? Some people can be so touchy. It was a full Grease moment. I was Sandra D. D. And
nice.
I
hate people.
Yeah. And some people. We love most people. Some people are hard work. So again, I think I'm being teased, and so I'm not saying anything. My mom picks me up the next morning in her silver Volvo.
Oh yeah.
And it's eating me away inside, and I'm in the front seat of this woman's Volvo, and I look at Martha and I go, I gotta know. I'm like, Mom, is this a thing? And my poor Quaker, Pennsylvania mother has to look at me and go, yes, Meg. This is the world you are blossoming into.
I genuinely can't picture asking my mother that.
Oh,
I
kill
can't.
me 1,000 times. And I
like,
still think they're
you.
yucky.
Good for you for asking.
It was pure survival, because I didn't know if I was going to go back to school on Monday and have to be monitoring, am I being teased or not?
But see,
I had
like,
to know.
Wow. And like, we didn't have the internet, right? To like
Friends,
Google.
there was no Google.
There was no Google. Even, yeah. But like, I'm thinking about that because I'm trying to think. My friends must have told me, or it came up in conversation, and I feel like I don't have any moments like that.
How do people learn? How do they know? Big sisters?
No,
Big
I think
brothers?
maybe. But the funny thing is that, well, yeah, okay. So the majority of my friends, we did have older brothers, though. I don't know anyone that really had an older sister in my group.
Maybe because older brothers are around dads, and dads talk shit, and we
No,
miss that.
I think also, though, no, I think part of what it was, like, I vividly remember one friend who always had boyfriends.
Okay,
I'm gonna make a weird like timeline, and this is just a guess that, like, I think boys are more likely when they're younger to get into porn or find it or watch it or look at whatever.
Sure.
More so than girls. I mean, I didn't. And so
also, again, no real internet.
right, but they must have, and I think the friends that had boyfriends who clearly watched porn, like, they must have been the ones to start.
It just takes one.
And then they start
Wildfire.
being like, we did this, and someone says, oh, well, we did this, and like, people are all just doing it, and you're just, but I feel like I'm saying, I just took that information
Margaret
as like,
is cowering
okay.
at a sleepover.
But I'm saying I just took that information as,
Great.
Okay, you said that must be what
Ready?
it is.
Okay.
Well, when you don't have Google, your friends are Google. You're just like,
And that's
information.
a dangerous place to be.
Got it.
Always fact check your friends now that we have Google. But so anyway, all that to say, I decided 3 months into being back, okay, I'm going to potentially try and date because, like, maybe I want to have some intimacy. Ultimately realized that's not a good idea because at the time my doctor had said, don't get your heart rate over 110 BPM,
Wow.
which became the joke of like, wow, Meg, how are you going to get laid if you can't get that heart rate over 110, which
It's going to be the
is
slowest lovemaking ever.
that's what the joke was. It's going to be a 3 p.m. starfish situation. Again, probably someone's kink. Afternoon delight. And I mean, sometimes I get my heart rate up to 110 walking my dog. So
Yeah.
it really was off the table because the panic was, okay, how am I even going to, if I even get through a potential date energy wise, then what happens when I'm then getting physical with someone and I start to be in a lot of pain and it doesn't feel.
And do you tell them?
Do I tell them because
Yeah.
it doesn't feel sexy? I don't want to tell people that I'm sick because that doesn't feel cute because then now we have to talk about it. And so,
And you probably also don't want someone to then be like,
oh, are
overly,
you okay?
Are you okay?
That's not hot either. Don't ask so much. Like, ask for enthusiastic consent.
But don't
then,
ask me
like,
1,000 times if
assume
I'm okay.
I'm going to tell you.
Right.
So anyway, it just really, like, there's so much anxiety around all of it that I had to just say not right now. And also,
Back burner.
I'm not trying to date and I have no emotional capacity for anything. So all that to be said, I'm not actively pursuing dating, and I am though interested in. It's been 2 years since I've been kissed. What's that? Was that a
Never
movie?
been kissed.
Never been kissed. Never been kissed in 2 years. Jamie is actively looking to date, but not in an aggressive way. We're just trying to be out with the people.
Again, trying to be out with the people and do the meet organically in real life journey.
And so, because we are hopefully going to wrap this thing up for you guys in a few minutes here, we have to get into
The
squirrels
story.
in downtown.
So I feel like, Meg, you should probably just set the scene. So it's your friend's birthday.
It's my friend's birthday. She's hilarious. She always has great themes. It's 3 p.m. I'm supposed to be there already. I'm at home in bed in so much pain. And I'm like starting to go down the rabbit hole of my pain is here. I don't want to leave the house, but I know I need to leave the house. And I finally just said, put on a onesie and fucking get out of here.
Yeah.
So I did. I put on my flying squirrel onesie, hopped in my Jeep.
She looked so
Beep,
cute.
beep. It was great. I get downtown. I find parking.
Now, to be fair, we had been in contact because I was already near downtown, kind of, with a friend who, funny enough, we went to a science fair.
And that was the theme of this birthday party.
Which was so weird. I went to a science fair, and we actually had that conversation. We did have the conversation. I was like,
Briefly.
"Oh, Chris and I are going to a science fair and downtown," and you were like,
the birthday science
"The
fair?
And I said,
No, downtown's
No.
also having a science fair. So it was kismet. It was all meant to be.
"It was all meant to me."
The universe set it up.
So I'm done with the science fair. I'm like, "Hey, are you going to your birthday thing downtown? I think Chris and I are just gonna bop around downtown." And she's like, "Yeah." I didn't even. You told me where you were
No,
going.
I said yes. I am en route in a squirrel onesie. God forbid I get pulled over. I have never driven so consensually, not the word at all, consciously and safely.
But so I was like, okay, you go downtown. Me and my friend are gonna go downtown, and we were literally looking for some stores, maybe a snack. We're
always looking for snacks.
Always snacks, but we didn't really have a real place we were gonna go. So I literally put in a random store as the destination. I'm not kidding.
Oh my
we
God.
put in a random store as a destination just to get down to that area.
Yes.
We get down there. My car is circling for parking.
And she sees a squirrel emerge.
You turn the corner and I look over and I see a squirrel putting money in the meter, and we're both like, "Oh my God,
Buzza?
Meg Buzza, is that you?" What are the fucking odds?
No, absolutely.
That
Absolutely.
we would have
No.
put that as the destination. It was meant to be.
Providence.
It was so meant to be. So
I didn't have to walk to the downtown brewery alone.
But
would
that
have.
was the funny thing too, is that the destination that you were going to, we had already passed, and we're like, "Oh, that place is hopping.
Poppin'.
We're gonna go there."
Shout out to Downtown Brewery.
Not knowing that was literally her destination anyway.
That's right.
So she parks, we park. You go inside.
Yep.
I'm just gonna fast forward because nobody cares where I went.
But it was crazy. So the synchronicity of everything. Turns out my friend is the bartender. All of my good friends from working in film are there at another party, and of course they're like, "God damn it, Meg would be in a fucking squirrel costume. That's very on brand." And they're like, "Yeah, here we are."
It is on brand.
So yes.
By the way, also for anyone who doesn't live in LA or hasn't ever been to Arts District Brewery, huge, awesome brewery. They have, I have a bone to pick with them because they have they have 1 million skee ball machines inside.
fun.
Mondays are free skee ball night. By the way, I know we're going to be with the people
because we don't drink. We're just with the people.
We don't drink, but I just have a really quick bone to pick because when I'm a game girly, I'm a token girly.
We have so many tokens at
I
Barcade.
have so many tokens for Barcade. I just
clinking around.
love. But here's the thing. So for their stupid token machines, every token was $1.
Absolutely not.
If I put $1
Absolutely
in
not.
that machine, you give me at least 4 tokens.
No.
Then
Ooh.
for those skee ball machines,
Ooh.
1 token, 3 balls.
Nope.
That's it.
Absolutely
Are
not.
you out of your fucking mind? You should give me at least 5 balls.
Deprivation.
Go fuck yourselves. Anyway, Arts District Brewery
But also
is great.
really fun time.
Besides that,
No, it's a great
it's
open
huge
environment.
open floor plan.
Yep.
Open floor plan.
They're like, God forbid these girls actually promote us.
So no, but there's like a huge, big, all the way around bar in the center. Tons of seating, and this is just the inside. Tons of seating. A really like decent snack area. Also, I have no idea what the
Great
guy's
food.
name is at the snack bar, but he was so smiley and cute. He was just so sweet.
Shout out to our snack bar friend.
He asked the chefs if there was wheat in the spinach dip, and
Yeah.
I appreciate
He
that.
also lives in LA. He gets that question minutely.
He was
not
very
even
sweet.
hourly, but minutely.
But anyway, disco balls in the bathroom. We love to see
Big old
it.
disco balls with the piping.
Then a huge outdoor area with more seating on an upper deck.
Cornhole.
More
Axe
tables,
throwing.
Axe throwing. Tons of tables and
Dogs
seating.
allowed.
It was just the greatest.
Giant Jenga.
So we go outside, and because all her friends at the party, we just joined this party.
Yes, they were dressed like pedestrians. My friends were
Yes.
human volcano experiments.
There was a lot of costumes going on. But so we go outside just to see what's going on, and we kind of walk over to the cornhole area.
Because we need sun, because I'm a lizard.
And we see
A beautiful specimen of a human being.
yes.
We see a dream floating down from the clouds.
But like his smile, just like a megawatt smile.
Holy moly.
And he's
Floored.
playing cornhole with like a blonde girl. So we're just, and she's pretty blonde, and we're like, girlfriend, not
Date?
girlfriend.
What's happening?
Is it a first date kind of date? You guys know when you go out and you see two people together and you're just like,
That's our favorite game. We love being
Yeah.
like first date, second date. The
are they a
awkwardness.
couple? Do they like it? Are they not? Who's having a good time?
Ooh,
Who's
are they
not having
breaking
a good
up?
time?
Such a fun game.
Okay, I'm going to say, because I don't know how you were feeling from looking at it, because you were immediately like in.
Yeah, but I was also then looked down squirrel suit.
She was wearing it with confidence, folks. But
Yes.
from my perspective, and our friend was also, we were talking about it as well, whoever he was with, like, he's so smiling, right? I said, like, we noticed the megawatt smile because he is just smiling the
Cheesing.
whole
Have
time.
the most fun with his
He's having
cornhole.
such a good time playing cornhole, and the girl he's playing with, not smiling.
Not smiling.
Not even a little bit. I'm like,
Not
he
grimacing,
keeps-
but not smiling.
No, but she's just not smiling. He's
Neutral.
laughing and talking. And I feel like every time, I couldn't even hear what they were saying at all because I wasn't near them. But watching him talk to her and like he's laughing and smiling, she is not cracking any smile. And I'm just like, if this is a date, she's miserable.
We'll be interrupting. And so I'm very much like, I'm here to create value. I'm not here to ruffle feathers. But the idea was, okay, when we find, but he broke the seal. He came over and he said, greatest thing I've ever seen. The onesie tens across the board. I'm so here to see it.
I just want to interrupt and say that especially if you maybe are like us and you are on the go be with the people, go out, IRL, organic kind of life like we are, everything can be a conversation
Smile and
piece.
wave.
No, okay, we'll get to that. But like,
I see what you're
everything
saying.
can be a conversation piece. So let's say you were at a party, right? You were at a costume party and you're not ready to go home yet and you kind of want to keep going out. Do not feel discouraged like you're going to look like an idiot. Go the fuck out in that outfit.
Yes.
It is a conversation piece.
Yes.
You should be giving, we need to be giving people things to come up to you and say, what's going on? Oh my God. Or honestly,
Wait,
I
name
will
tag.
say,
Tell them about the name tag.
oh yeah. So
This is all sparked by the fact that we did a silly singles event because it was
listen,
hilarious.
We'll talk about them on other episodes.
But then you went to another bar still wearing the name tag and we're like, that's actually a brilliant idea. Wear a name tag to the bar.
literally go buy a pack of name tags, have them on you, and when you go out for the night, slap it on and put your name. It is
And
such
a fun fact.
It is the most genius thing.
Why are we not doing this?
We are going to be doing it.
This is why when you go to a
Haven't worn
store,
a jacket.
when you go to a store, they wear a name tag so that you can start the conversation with confidence.
100%.
Hello, copy. Walmart is doing it right.
But you can also like listen. Not that I want to start everything with dishonesty, but if they say like, "Why are you wearing that?" You can lie
not
and just say,
dishonesty.
"I was at a singles event," or "I was at any kind of event." Make it up. Doesn't matter. They're not going to go home and Google it. But I'm just saying like, or you could literally just be like, "Oh, I was just making it easier for you."
Hey.
Hello, my name is Jamie, and yes, I would like a drink.
Hey.
Non-alcoholic.
A nice lime spritz.
Okay, so she's wearing this amazing onesie,
Yes.
and you take it away.
And-
because I was like hanging back, just like watching it go down.
And I don't know. I'm the most awkward person. I really have a hard
she
time.
thinks she is. I call her Maureen because she's literally Maureen from Rent. She's like, "What, me?" And
Boys,
everyone's in love with
girls,
her.
I can't help it. I know. I feel very. I feel insecure when it starts to become something that's not just friendship. I start to be like, and so anywho, he introduces himself. I immediately forget his name because I'm bloweth over. and then he says, and that's Kelly. And when you say that is versus this is my friend, yes, when you say that is, I assume, person that is with you.
Oh,
So yeah, like, and that's my wife. That's
But
Sharon.
see, I would look for them to
That's
say
Shannon.
that is my
my wife.
insert. But see, because if I heard, "Oh, that's Kelly," I'd be like, "Not necessarily mine."
You're right. There was no possessive. To me, I heard possessive. So I don't know where she got this sass. The squirrel sass came out. She immediately said, "Oh, girlfriend?" And he said, "No, homegirl, best friend of 12 years." And I was like, clutch.
That onesie gave her balls.
Literally the nuts hanging off that squirrel costume. And then he said, "Great, if you hang around, I would like to crush you the next round." And I said, "I would like that." And it's just, I don't know what it is.
Magic.
It's magic.
Well, okay, so she starts playing this game of cornhole, and me and our other friend, we got a snack, we're eating french fries, we're literally at the show. And we're just like, I mean, like,
watching the show.
I'm not kidding, we watched the show. So then you started being a little, you were like, "Oh, I gotta go check feed my meter." And we were like, "We got it. We got," my friend and I
Real
literally
friends.
leave the bar. We go walk
Feed my
a
meter.
few blocks, feed the meter, come back, because we're like, she is not stopping this conversation.
Do you
we're like,
know what your friend? Do you know that you have true friends when they leave to feed your meter in Los Angeles?
but that's a tip to everyone. Just be a good fucking
Be
friend.
a good friend.
If your friend is connecting with someone
For the first
and it
time
is
in
so exciting,
2 years.
because I also, so in this group of single girls and just like in singledom in general, I view a win for one is a win
Win
for us
for all.
You know what I mean? Like, we all don't have to be meeting a guy or meeting someone when we're out for it to be a successful outing. Like, it's what we've been talking about. You met someone in real life, you were crushing it,
It was fun.
we're full sending it. Like, come on.
Come on.
So we're like, we got to keep it going. We got to keep it going. So you guys keep playing cornhole. Everyone, your group had moved on. He's getting ready to leave.
Yes.
So first of all, I'm just going to insert this here. You are welcome to cut this out if you want. So we can tell that you guys are getting it ready to leave, and he looked away, and you look at me, and I go,
Yeah, Jamie is pretending to text.
Meg is as subtle as something that's not. I don't know how that phrase works. Whatever is not subtle. What's not subtle?
A doornail.
Yeah, that's Meg is as subtle as a fucking doornail, and she
have no
out
idea what
loud
this is.
across the way goes, "Do you want me to text you? What?" And I'm like,
Oh, she's been out of the game for too long.
"Dear God, woman." So I'm like, fucking forget it.
I'm at the toga party all over again.
So anyway, but like, we're all sort of saying like, nice to meet you, goodbye. And I'm just like, looking good.
Yeah, that's what was crazy is like we had such a he was so
And he started to walk
enthusiastic.
away.
He started to walk away, and of course, your natural insecurities come up of like, oh, was I just on a different existence, and that all was in my mind, and I was so
and
confused.
you picked up your squirrel balls one more time.
It was the final.
Come
I
on.
swung those things over my shoulder like a continental soldier, and I said, "Do you have Instagram?"
There we go.
And we exchanged Instagrams, and I was like, that was crazy that there was going to be no close.
And this is also another episode.
And no shade, but like it threw me, because then of course I'm like, what did I do? Oh God.
No, you and I, this is another full episode, but we've talked about it. The pandemic has sent these ripples that I feel like we keep hoping and thinking. This is my theory. That like, I feel like there's just these ripples in society that just like have been kept going, and I keep hoping maybe tomorrow they'll stop. But like, no, people are weird, and I think that maybe we all are feeling kind of the way that you were, like, oh, is he into me? Is he not into me? And I feel like he probably, even though he was so confident and chatty and touchy and cute, that maybe he was even still like, is she thinking of me that way? Like, is she even into me? Like,
I can't tell her body language because it's just covered in fabric.
I think weirdly, I don't
Squirrely,
I would love to know if
fabric.
anyone else feels this way too, but I don't know. Just everyone is a little bit weird, and I think everyone
We're all a little weird.
isn't fully, I don't know, prepared to say, this was great, give me your number. Not everyone can do that.
And also,
I don't know.
Also, from a place of safety, I'm also living in a world now where like I don't give out my number. I love and hate the gram, but I love that. For me, it feels like a safe intermediary where we can have a conversation, but you don't have to get fully into
That's
my
true.
contact.
That's fascinating.
So
Well, I'm screwed. I don't have social media, so
Jamie does
number
not have
it
social
is.
media, which we love for her.
But so where did you leave it?
So the way we left it was just like mutual positivity in the DM of like, you know what? That was fun. And thank you for a fun time. And I just appreciate that so much. I don't think anything has to be overtly dating, sexual, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, right away. I'm here looking for human connections
Yeah.
in general. I
And
love
you
to
got
connect with
it.
people. It was so fun. And I think like also being in illness where you really, it forces you to be a little bit more present and to, again, really enjoy things as they are. And so, yeah, I was in fucking pain. I was in so much pain.
I have
the
to
whole
say,
time.
as her friend and knowing that you get that way, like, you would not have known, you wouldn't have thought it. Again, it's something invisible, right? So,
Yeah.
But I honestly kind of forgot that you had even said you were in pain yesterday. I was like, she's having a great day. She's having such a good time.
Because she was.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, if I'm going to leave
So
the
important.
listeners with something, is that's also been something I've learned, is that you might think, it's better for me just, and yes, there are times to absolutely rest, but there are also times where you got to get engaged in something. You got to get your mind into a project. You got to be out with your friends in any way you can, even if they come to you. But the second you're laughing and the second you are just being part of something, you forget. And so, yeah, in those moments where I'm like, and the second I get in my car, it just hits me like a freight train. But I got to have that moment to smile and laugh and like, I appreciate this person for that. I appreciate Jamie for being Wing Woman of the Year.
Boom.
But yeah, I think it was
well, I was going to say, like, to wrap it all up for today, I think, and this is not in any particular order, but go be with the people.
Be with people.
If you're single, I mean, even if you're not, but like, if you're not single, go be a wing person to your single friends. And even if you are single, go be out with the people. Like, sure, the apps. Get out there, look in your town, your city, wherever you are, and literally look up. We don't drink. And
we
we're
have
at a
so
fucking
much
brewery.
fun.
Okay, there are mocktails to have. I love a good diet soda, but I'm just saying, like, it doesn't
I love a good
matter.
bitters and seltzer.
Oh God, it's my favorite. It doesn't really matter what you're actually ingesting, but like, I'm saying, go look.
Ain't that the truth?
But I'm saying, go look for the fun places, like fun bars, breweries. We just found one. There are sober bars popping up like all over the place.
That's an LA anomaly. We get it.
No, in
but
New York too. But I'm just saying, like, places to go where, or again, it doesn't have to be at the same place, but axe throwing, arcades,
so fun,
games. Go have fun. Go do activities. Just your main focus should be going out with your friends.
Yeah,
having a good time. Connections will lead from there.
Where it makes you feel good.
100%. Literally full send. It doesn't matter if you feel good in it.
People pick up what you're throwing down.
Oh God, my favorite phrase
Jamie's
ever. People
catchphrase.
will pick up what you are putting the fuck down.
Yes.
So don't be afraid of that. Wear the weird thing. Wear the fun thing. Wear a name tag. And also
wear a name tag.
But also, as we say all of that, think about your spoons. Be careful about
your spoons. I was
just
gonna say that, Jamie. Gosh, we are spoon vibing. And I think too, like, this could even segue us into maybe next week where we talk about friendships or mental health, because I do think even if it's not about going out and dating, or you can't leave the house because of what you're going through, even if you're in a mental health or you're going through grief, people are our greatest resource. And yeah, maybe we just need to watch some comedy with a person in the room. But I'm a firm believer in someone who, maybe I don't share much about my mental health because I think some things are stigmatized, but I'd like to get there on this podcast. But as someone who really deeply understands severe mental health struggles, even when you feel like the last thing I want to do is be with a person, be with a person. And Jamie has been the person a lot in the last year. And so
love you,
mean it. But really, I here to say, God, that's it.
It's your community.
It's your community.
Find your little tribe, your coven, as we like to say.
And if this is a jumping off point for that, amazing.
Yeah. And actually, on that note, let's bring it back to, this is about our community, this chronic community, which we're trying to build. So stories, tell us all the good, the bad, the ugly. Reach out to us.
If you get a squirrel onesie and you go out, I want to hear. I want to see kind pictures.
Of onesie, shark
we
onesie.
are going to shout you out on the gram.
Literally, we want to know where the weird thing. Get out there and tell us how.
You know
what?
We're gonna give people homework every week, and that is your homework.
Wear the weird.
Wear the weird. I wanna see it, people.
Wear the weird and follow the fun.
Follow the fun.
Yep. But so make sure you tell us all about it, and you can email us at what? Make sure to tell us all about your weird. Email us at podchronic@gmail.com. PODCHRONIC. I had to think about that.
Good job.
At gmail.com.
Conjunction,
and as Meg, you can follow us on socials. Where can they find us? Out on social media.
Podchronic. And
on TikTok and on Instagram.
On Instagram. And catch us next Wednesday. Every Wednesday, we're doing this.
New episodes. And also, if you're listening, you can listen to us everywhere that you listen to podcasts. So make sure to follow and subscribe so you find out new episodes about us
and
every single Wednesday.
Your face
and watch us with your face to our faces on YouTube.
Face to face.
The Chronic Pod on YouTube. Thanks so much for listening, guys.
Have the best day.
Can't wait to talk to you again next time.
Whoop whoop.
See ya.
Bye.